It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the corner!
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win! The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenny Walker! Touchdown! Sparty!
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Anthony will be with us in a minute. You can see him. You can probably see, well, if you're watching on YouTube or BCSN, you can see him. Oh, here we go. We're going to talk to him in a second here. Maybe. Anyway, it's a Wednesday.
There we go.
Hey, there he is.
This thing, I'm telling you what, man. The old one worked a lot better. Just saying. Broadcast Supply World's getting a phone call today because the old one worked a lot better and had way, way, way more miles on it than this thing. I mean, you think about an iHeart device. Who knows how many hours that piece of equipment had on it? This thing is like fresh out of the box as of, a few months ago, and I would say it's a once every couple weeks issue. I mean, every time I hit the power button here, I cross my fingers. Is this thing going to start up, or are we going to do this thing where I could hit it 500 times and it wouldn't matter? So, yeah, little disconcerting here. But welcome here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network on this Wednesday, as I believe Dan was saying. It is the first of the month, so happy first of the month here, February 1st, 2023. January is finally over after being 57 days long. January has come to a close, and we can begin fresh and begin a new month here on the program, and hopefully a new month for you. And it's a good opportunity to kind of wipe the slate. That's why I like Mondays so much. I also like the first of the month, so it is it's a good time. Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. You can tweet at us at XP Mornings. You can Facebook us, X's and Bros. You can find us on our YouTube stream as well, which is at Michigan Sports Network. Add a .com to that to find the website. And you can email us, our fan feedback email inbox, xbmornings@gmail.com. Danny Cahalan at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. How are you guys?
Doing good. Just going through Mel Kiper's big board right now and still getting upset that Will Levis is his number 3 player overall.
Happens every year. I wonder I wonder where a guy like Josh, where was Josh Allen high on his list? I don't remember.
I don't know. I could attempt to go back in the archives.
Because the reason I ask that is simply just because they're just so incredibly wrong. I mean, they're worse than the Weathermen. You know who was right? TJ Lang. TJ Lang went pick for pick in the first round before it was announced. Like, dude knew exactly who was coming off the board. I get why they do it. It's no different than why we do it. But there's not an NFL scout or NFL franchise go, well, Mel Kiper had this. Nobody's doing that. Nobody. Mel Kiper is maybe a gateway or a window to, different players who you as a fan might not know, but he's not going to be able to tell anybody anything at the league level of what exactly is, who is this guy. They're not going to, Mel Kiper's not their source of information. I'm sorry to break the news there for anybody like, Todd McShay had him here. Like, no, they're not reading that. They don't care about that. If Will Levis is the number 3 player overall, who is number 1 and number 2?
It was Jalen Carter, from Georgia, is number 1. Will Anderson, number 2.
So in the 2018, April 20th, 2018, Kiper versus McShay, Kiper took Josh Allen number 1 overall for the Cleveland Browns.
Kiper had Josh Allen number 1 overall for the Browns. Who did McShay have?
McShay then took Saquon. Then Kiper took Darnold for the Jets. Bradley Chubb to the Browns. Josh Rosen, Denver. Roquan Smith, Indianapolis.
It's not a bad top 6. For the time and what we thought. So which picks did the Browns have?
They had 1 and 4.
1 and 4.
They took Denzel Ward at 4, I believe.
Not a bad pick there either. So it all goes back down to the great debate of, talent versus need. I need a defensive back, but the best player on the board might be a running back. What do I take? Right? That is that's always up for discussion, not only for fans, but I'm sure also in the front offices as well as they get closer and closer to draft day. Wants versus needs, needs versus availability. Who's there? Who's left? What do we have? What holes do we need to fill? That's a really interesting conversation because it is one that has a practical real world application to it, because you don't want to reach too far for a specific player in the draft. But if it's a position that you need, I could see why maybe you draft somebody in that position or that individual player that might be seen as over drafted at that spot. So it is it's a lot. It is. Like there's a lot that goes into this, and there's a lot on the line. Quarterback's not a position of need right now for the Detroit Lions. I don't know, what Brad Holmes has to say outside of it's a whole lot easier to get worse at quarterback than it is to get better, for people to understand that, they're probably not going to draft a quarterback in that position at 6. I wouldn't even do it at 18, just because there's going to be better value for a backup quarterback at a later spot than there is to go up there and, if C.J. Stroud's available, what do you do? Well, we kind of have to wait and see. We can speculate all we want. If Stroud's available there at 6, do you take him? I mean, it's 6:09 in the morning on February 1st. Would either of you guys take C.J. Stroud if he's sitting there with the 6th overall pick? Is that something you'd even think about doing?
Heck no.
Really? You wouldn't even contemplate? I would contemplate it.
No!
It would at least take some
No!
time. Wow.
I would call some teams up and just be like, hey, if you don't offer me this, then we'll take them.
Yeah, do a like an Eli trade. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Slide back a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'd just be calling every team. Just be like, do you want him? Because he's right here.
We're going to draft this guy. You can have him.
I would be okay with that. I would be okay with, like, look, at that moment, like, hey, we're on the clock. Do you want him? You can have 6. What do we get in return? And only if it's to move back a couple spots, and all dependent on who's on the board. Because if Jalen Carter's there, I'm taking him. 100% I'm taking him. I've seen a lot of conversation. If you want to have a conversation edge versus interior, we could do that too. But we'll step aside. We'll come right back. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hop into I was looking something up last night, and it struck me about Tom Izzo, and I wanted to bring it up. It hasn't really been talked about, but I feel like this should definitely be brought to everyone's attention. I'll tell you what that is next here, X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
From planting a simple seed to managing a global food supply, growing, processing, and distributing food is the backbone of America. You deal with food safety and labor issues, cost control, and not to mention Mother Nature. But do you have time to explore research development and biotechnical tax credits? Properly administer payroll for temporary employees. Ensure that you're operating at your most profitable? That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is America's food supply, our business is helping you run your business better. We'll assist with tax credits, assess your processes and controls, and so much more. And while we may not be able to help you plant your crops, we can help you realize a rich financial harvest. From the family farm to worldwide distribution of all the things you grow, grow your business better. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online. BeanGarter.com. Bean Garter.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for a little Bone Thugs and Harmony this morning. Verse of the Month is the name of the song. Came out in 1996, maybe? By the way, yesterday was my cousin's birthday. So, I did like the whole, you post on Instagram, hey, happy birthday. I forgot to do it for her baby brother and her other brother, but I remembered to do it for her. I'm just happy I remembered to text everybody. And so I saw this this picture. It's a nice picture of her. So I post this picture of her, and I say, happy birthday, Taylor or whatever. The amount of people that didn't understand that this is my cousin, it was pretty.
Oh,
pretty
no,
out of
it was.
control.
Oh, it was like, is this your new lady friend
Is
or
this
something?
your girlfriend? Who is that? What? Let me holler at her. Like, oh my God, it's just like, no. So I said, folks, that is my younger cousin. Everybody just relax. All right, so I was doing a little bit of homework right now. I was on the old Google machine. I was running around trying to figure out exactly how to put a fire out in Ann Arbor. That's what I was trying to do. For the Michigan fan, I was trying to figure out and, taking a look at John Beilein's tenure with the Wolverines and exactly, finding that 1 year in 2014, 2015 in which Beilein did not make the NCAA tournament. He had not made it in his first year or his third year. They did make it his second year and then made it every other year except for this one random year after about a 4-year run of consecutive appearances. And it would have gone all the way to 7 consecutive years in the tournament had we had a tournament for the COVID year. But that's neither here nor there. So as I was shoveling around trying to find some maize and blue stuff, I stumbled upon this. And I thought it was very interesting because I don't feel like this has been talked about at all when it comes to Michigan State and when it comes to Tom Izzo. And I don't know why nobody has mentioned this. And when I said that in the break for the tease is what we like to call that, touch me, tease me, tell me that you need me. Officer Scott's driving around right now, Spartan slap, and he's like, oh, Lord, what do you have to say about Izzo? Hey, look, why does everything have to be negative? Why do you believe that I'm just going to find something negative to say about a guy who in the last couple of seasons may have not put his best, roster together, but is still very, very competitive across college basketball? A team that they got to win against the top 5 program right now on their resume. They're going to go to the NCAA tournament. It's going to happen. They might be on the cusp. They might be on the verge, on the fringe a little bit, on the outside of the Big Ten. But, geez, will you just have some faith? This is why this is the most fair and honest program in the nation. Because I'm here to say something positive about Tom Izzo. And the minute I say Izzo, everybody thinks that's negative. Did you know he only needs one more Big Ten conference title to tie the all-time record at 11? Did you know that? Going into this year,
it wasn't on the top of my mind. I probably knew it when they won it with Cassius Winston because it's probably more of a talking point, but the last 3 years they haven't been necessarily close.
Which, some people are, they get up in arms about it and they're, I can't believe it. Dude, did you see the class he's got coming in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I know there's a lot of love for Judd. I don't want to ruffle. I don't know if it's USDA Scott or Dave or whoever played for him or coached with him out there on the west side of the state. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. But that's Izzo's school. It's Izzo world. They've won the Big Ten in 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 09, 10, 12, 18, 2019, 2020. 10 of the 16 are with Tom Izzo as the head coach. 10 of the 16 titles. That's pretty impressive. If you had to guess off the top of your head, who leads the conference in Big Ten championships, who would you bet on?
Indiana.
Well, which coach? I believe Andy's.
Oh, you're doing
No, I was doing school. But
school? Okay.
Coach or school. I'll take either one. Although you could see the rundown, so you know.
I mean, I would just base it on Indiana's past. That's what I would base it on. I mean, sure, they haven't been good in the last 15 years, but
hey,
they were fantastic for 50 years. So
they have as many titles, they have as many Big Ten Conference championships as Michigan does since 2010. Does that not seem preposterous? 3 of them. Well, pardon me, not Indiana, Purdue. Purdue has as many since 2002. They had 2013, 2016, and 2002. They have 3. It goes Purdue number 1 in Big Ten history with the most Big Ten championships in basketball at 24. Then Indiana at 22. Ohio State and Wisconsin are both tied for 3 as they have 20 titles apiece. Illinois has hung the banner 18 times, followed by Michigan State and Michigan at 16 and 15, respectively. Then nobody else has double digits. Iowa has 8, Minnesota has 8, Chicago has 6, but they're out. Northwestern has 2, Maryland has 1, and then Penn State, Nebraska, and Rutgers have yet to win the conference. Is that not surprising? And Wisconsin, I mean, they went from 1947 until 2002. I know what this feels like, Wisconsin. They went from 47 to 02 without a single conference championship. But that is a crazy, crazy drought right there. Iowa hasn't won it since 79. Minnesota hasn't won it since 82. And Northwestern hasn't won it since 1933. The reason I bring all of this up is, one, because I think that I just found it very strange that nobody's really said anything. I haven't heard anybody talk about the fact that Tom Izzo is 1 conference championship away from being the Big Ten's all-time leader, or at least tied for it, with Ward Lambert of Purdue and Bob Knight of Indiana, tied for the most Big Ten championships in conference history. If he wins 2 more, did you see the class he's bringing in next year?
Yeah, he's got the
this is possible.
Now I think it's number 3 overall class. I haven't checked in a while. But Xavier Booker is depending which site you look at, anywhere between a top 3 and top 10 player. They have point guard Jeremy Fears, who's a top 50 player. And I believe they have a wing who's a top 100 player coming in. I think all top 100 players. So
and we know that, yes, the recruiting cycle is exciting when you get your guys. Give them a little time, give them a little patience. But at the same time, because you need that veteran leadership, and Tom prides himself on his teams, his best teams being player-coach teams, right? So they're going to have to lean a little bit on that experience, and there is going to be a transition. There always is, of young freshmen figuring out how to play, and that's mainly dependent on the role and the expectation placed upon those young people. So if they get there and they are not going to have to be, any of the 3 of them do not have to necessarily be the focal point of the offense, and they can assimilate into the team, that's where Michigan has missed the balls, because you're asking Jet Howard to be a focal point of the offense, if not for Hunter Dickinson. You're asking Doug McDaniel to start every game as a true freshman with no help out there at the point guard position. That's not really putting the kids in position to be successful. But Tom Izzo, this is in the next 2 years, this is very much achievable to not only tie the record for most Big Ten championships, but also break and set the new record. And I think that that's pretty outstanding for a guy that took over in 1995 to be able to have the sustained success that he has been able to have there at the university, and to be doing it as long as he has. I mean, what do you think? 30 years and probably calls it quits? That's a pretty solid run he has been on. Over on the pro side of things, over in the NBA, it's time to put the hoops action in the palm of your hands with DraftKings Sportsbook. You should have bet on the Lakers last night. An official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app right now. Sign up using the promo code HUGE. New customers bet $5 on the association, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings, only in the NBA, only using the promo code HUGE. Now, if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. 21 plus, bonus issued as free bets. Eligibility in terms of sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. More college basketball. The guy that spent a couple of decades covering it in the Mid-American Conference. Our good buddy John Wagner joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Imagine this. Winning big at Soaring Eagle and having a winter blast with up to $25,000. Every Saturday in January from 7 to 10 p.m., you can win $1,500 in premium play. Then, at 11 p.m. each week, one lucky player takes home $25,000 cash. That's $160,000 all month long. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining us now. We typically do this on Tuesdays, but we're shifting schedules and doing it on a Wednesday from here on out, and I kind of like that. Gives us a little variance, right? You know, every once in a while, you're going to have somebody, go down with an injury, or we're going to need some load management, as they like to call it, in the NBA. Well, we did some load management here with our good friend John Wagner. Find him on Twitter. John Wagner Media, member of the National Football Foundation and Football Writers Association of America, covered the Detroit Tigers minor league system for a couple of decades. How are you, Mr. Wagner?
Well, Anthony, I would love to say I'm a little slice of heaven, but I'm not this morning.
Oh, no.
I am not. Yeah.
What happened?
I'm hearing rumors. My spies, sources indicate that you misquoted me on yesterday's show.
Oh.
This is what I've been led to believe, that you misquoted me. You misrepresented me to your beloved public.
All right. So let's backtrack a little bit. And I thought it was my understanding that you're not the biggest fan of the NCAA tournament because it's not a great way to crown a champion. We were talking a little bit about college hoops. Coach Barlow joined us. We were talking about Michigan because they are, they allowed 50 points from Penn State in the first half alone, and they're kind of in dire straits. They're 500 in Big Ten Conference play, but they're, game over 500 overall. They have yet to have that signature win. Sure, there might be a whole lot of opportunities, but it's looking a little grim. And in reference to the NCAA tournament, I thought that it was your belief that that's not exactly the greatest way to crown a champion. Am I correct or incorrect there?
You are correct. You are correct. I do not think it's a great way to crown a champion. I think it's a great way to crown a postseason tournament winner. It's fine by me. I'd like fewer teams, but to say it's a champion, I think is farcical at best. I mean, do you need me to defend myself, or did you defend me sufficiently on Tuesday?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't attack nor defend. I was very much I was going to refer to Switzerland, but since Switzerland is now allowing the transportation of arms to the Ukraine and ammunition, that's about as non-neutral as they have been. But I've been I was stuck in basically neutral. I could understand why you'd say what you'd say. I can understand the argument against it. But at the end of the day, there would be no other way to necessarily. I mean, we could vote on who's the best team, but I'd hate that. We just need a system, and our best system is the NCAA tournament and all that is special about March Madness.
Okay. I disagree with that because, long story made short, my biggest issue with the NCAA championship is that the season starts in November. The tournaments start in March. So you have games being played November, December, January, and February. And then you have conference tournaments leading up to the NCAA tournament. With the NCAA tournament, what does all that prelude mean? What does it mean? And my answer is next to nothing. For elite teams, it means nothing. They begin the season in November saying, all we're going to do is kind of sharpen up, so hopefully when March rolls around, we're at our best. And that's about it. Unless the wheels really come off the cart, they're going to be in the tournament. Now, yes, you mentioned your Wolverines, and indeed the wheels have come off there. But think about it this way. They're not having a good year. I think that's a kind way of saying it. Would you agree? They're not having a good year.
I would agree with that.
And they're still marginally in the hunt. I mean, they're not, to say that they are out of it, that there's no way they can get a bid, all they need is a hot February. And then from there, they start fresh in March and all bets are off. Am I right or wrong to say that?
You are right to say that, although winning the conference regular season is still very much important. If you win your conference tournament, that is still very much important. That will get you a nice piece of, well, I mean, some people still use the actual cloth banners. Some teams, they do the screen print, but yeah, I mean, it still gets you an opportunity to hang a banner.
Whoop-de-doo. Yeah.
Oh, John, come on. That's, if you win the Big Ten, you're the Big Ten Conference champions. That's a major accomplishment. That's showing over the course, not just getting hot in the conference tournament for, 3 or 4 days, but you were good for the 3 to 4 months of the regular season. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, over the course of, the 20-game stretch, well, I guess it's not 3 or 4 months. I guess it's basically a couple of months in conference play. But you were the best team, game after game after game, which Purdue, I mean, they look like they are. It's Purdue, and then it's kind of everybody else, and the AP Top 25 reflects that as so. But, I mean, it's I think that's a wonderful accomplishment. I think the banner is meaningful.
Well, let me ask you this. Who was last year's Big Ten champion? Regular season.
Last year's regular season Big Ten champion, without looking it up. Who did raise the banner last year? That's a good question. Was it Purdue?
Thank you. Hey, it's all in the rearview mirror, man. All the regular season championship outside of the banner, which we can argue how important that is, it's generally meaningless beyond that. All it does is set your seeding for the conference tournament. And frankly, looking at the Big Ten example, 1 through 4 is basically where you want to be.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Sorry
okay.
about that. Illinois and Wisconsin, a split, both of them at 15 and 5.
And do you see my point in that? How soon they forget?
But not those schools. I forget because it wasn't Michigan like in 2021 or Michigan State getting a share in 2020 and in 2019 winning it outright in 2018 like that's, or Michigan in 2014. It's like when it's your school or the schools that you cover, then it's important. But if Illinois or Wisconsin wins one, I'm okay if I forget that.
I think it shows the level of meaninglessness that we can hardly remember.
You haven't met my good buddy from Illinois Twitter by the name of OG Weck, have you? Let me tell you a thing or two about a thing or two. This guy, he's a real gem, and he makes sure to tell me how he feels about me every single time Illinois comes to Ann Arbor. He hates my guts. He once tweeted me a picture where he was like 5 rows up at the Big Ten tournament and said, "I'm rich and you're poor." That's the level of despise that this individual feels for me, whoever this person is. But for him, like that was a major, and for Brad Underwood, I mean, it's a major accomplishment for the school.
Understood, but it's also easily forgotten based on what happens in the Big Ten tournament and then what happens in the NCAA tournament. I mean, think about it this way then, okay? Teams set goals before a season begins. And yes, I understand. Big Ten regular season title, Big Ten tournament title, make it to the NC tournament, win a title, win the national title, okay? If a team does extremely well in the NCAA tournament but doesn't accomplish any of those other goals, is it a successful season? And by the way, the answer is yes. That's the way teams are going to view it.
Okay, so here's
conversely, Anthony. Before you answer, think about it this way: your team wins the regular season title and wins the tournament title, and gets knocked out of the first round or second round of the tournament. Successful season or no?
Ooh. So you won. No. You win the regular season. No.
Says everything, Anthony.
Because I'm trying to do two things at once. Because Anthony Wright had brought this up. A friend of the show, former Michigan Wolverine. He brought this up. If you win your conference regular season, but you get bounced in the first or second round, but you won your conference regular season, that's still a good season. Sure, you didn't get the end result, but you're in the NCAA tournament. It's 40 minutes of basketball. Couple foul calls, somebody rolls an ankle. I one time saw a team lose their Mid-American Conference Championship hopes in the tournament because a guy hit his head on the rim in warm-ups and knocked himself out. So I have seen this happen. The regular season, in hanging that banner for winning your conference, that means something. That is paramount to me. That's better than
you're telling
backing.
me the tournament doesn't mean anything then?
That's not what I'm saying.
Or it doesn't give you a real champion because there's a lot of luck involved in it. You can't hit your head on the backboard. You can't play bad for 40 minutes.
You definitely need some breaks. Puck luck is what we like to call that in hockey, or having a pitching staff catch fire during a playoff series. Being able to same thing with the NFL or with the college football playoff, unless you're Georgia and you're just clearly better at every single position than everybody else. But really, what is your end goal? If I could pitch it to you like this, you can win your conference but get knocked out in the first or second round, or not win your conference and advance past the Sweet 16 in the tournament. Is there a way to measure, or can both be good? I mean, I would rather hang the banner myself, because you're not hanging Sweet 16 banners if you're at a big school. You'll hang the Final Four, and that's about it.
Well, then let's just go that route. You have a math season. You finish 4th or 5th in the Big Ten. You don't do anything in the tournament, but obviously you earn a berth in the NCAA tournament. You catch fire, you make the Final Four. I'm telling you, and you know this is true, for fans of that team, that Final Four appearance burns any memories of a lackluster regular season and Big Ten tournament out of people's brains.
Yes, it does. Yeah, agreed.
And as you mentioned, there's a bit of luck in a run like that. You've caught fire at the right time. Maybe you had a team in the tournament that you matched up well against. You're 3-point shooting maniacs and they can't guard the perimeter, or whatever. Or you're tall and they're small. Whatever it is, you have matchups that carry you. So the tournament is not a great predictor, in my opinion. It's going to tell us who the better teams are, but it's saying that this is clearly the champion. I just have never seen that. There are too many examples of middling teams who got hot at the right time and won a title. I mean, I understood. I'm about to date myself. North Carolina State in '83, Villanova in '85, Arizona in the '90s, the Miles Simon team. They finished 5th in the Pac-12, 5th, and yet they got hot in the postseason, won the title, and they're national champions. The 5th place team in the Pac-12 is the NCAA champion. No, it's not. They're the winner of the NCAA postseason tournament, which is, don't misunderstand me. I'm not telling you that's not a big deal, okay? That's a big deal. You've brought the best teams, arguably, around the country together for an extended tournament. You have to win 4 games back in the day, 6 games nowadays. It's not easy. Every opponent is good. There's definitely some honor in winning this title. But to say that this is clearly going to determine which team is the best team in the country, no. No.
Well, I found the original tweet. It was from Parker Heyman at College Basketball Report, and I saw it via Ant Wright. Would you rather have a miserable regular season but sneak into the tournament, make the Sweet 16, or have a good regular season, win your conference championship, and get bounced in the first round by a 12 or 13 seed? Anthony Wright, the former player, said 2 different types of letdowns, but conference title for sure. In that regard, yes. Yeah, I always want the conference title because I always want the opportunity to hang that banner, but I do understand what you are saying when you have a 5th place team in a conference that can go on to get hot and win the NCAA tournament. It's a pretty magical run you have to go on. So credit there to them. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. I see both sides of the coin. I know there isn't a lot of that these days in this day and age, but I do see both sides of the argument. Using this giant cranium I have here with that human brain of mine, I'm like, I could see what John would say, but then also I could see what somebody else might say about it in their sort of opinion towards what is a good season. in college basketball.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I think some of that also depends on, are you a blue blood? Are you a team that, you're Duke? You expect to be in that tournament every year. It's a matter of what do we do in that tournament. That's how the season's decided, okay? Or, North Carolina or Kansas or UCLA, especially back in the day, they're kind of making a renaissance here. But you see what I'm saying. These are teams that every year making the NCAA tournament feels like it's almost a birthright. Of course we're going to be there. It's what we do there that matters. I think that perspective also colors how you view your season. For the Blue Bloods, you best have a deep tournament run. You just better. And if you're, I don't know, I mean, I hate to say Nebraska because I'd like the team to actually win an NCAA tournament game.
Ooh.
Silly me.
Ooh. Shots fired.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying here. I mean, for them, winning a couple NCAA tournament games, if they were so fortunate as to make it, that would, the rest of that season would be forgotten because they made the NCAA tournament and won basketball games. That, same with a mid-major. Who knows what you do? Who cares? We made it to the NCAA tournament and won a game. That's a huge deal. Huge deal.
Huge deal. And, it like you said, it all is very much dependent on what team you are rooting for, right? Who is your rooting interest? Like Michigan State, the bare minimum is make the tournament. For Michigan, I think that's why a lot of people are as in this kerfluffle that they're in watching this, because like, oh my goodness, I had to remind people yesterday that John Beilein did miss the tournament. I think it was 2014, 2015 in the midst of his tenure there at Michigan. It will happen from time to time. He's John Wagner. He joins us from time to time as well. We love him on this program. John, my friend, as always, partner, thank you so much for your time. Great to catch up with you this week. Have a wonderful rest of the week, my friend.
Anthony, to you and your listeners, thank you for allowing me to make the adjustment to Wednesdays. I will, hopefully that means I'll bring my A game each week. Well, you guys have a great week.
Always a pleasure to talk to my good buddy, John Wagner. But it is very much, it's an interesting conversation based upon what your expectations are, right? If you're Illinois trying to get into an Elite Eight it's easier to go to the dentist than it is to do that. So for, some schools, just getting to the tournament is the accomplishment. Some schools haven't been to the tournament in 40 plus years, right? And you're just you just want to get in. Other teams, it's like, you're almost guaranteed. You're supposed to make it every single year. If you weren't going to get in, that would be a failure. But then again, if you do get in, what is the expectation once you're in? To get through the first weekend? Like, obviously, whoever comes out of the MAC is going to have a different expectation than what Michigan or Michigan State is going to have if and when they get into the tournament, right? So that to me is where it all kind of changes. We'll step aside. Hour 2 is next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations across Michigan. You're going to want to look into that unlimited monthly pass that I use. Superfly Hayes, my producer, uses it. I can get my SUV washed as often as I like for one low price. You can sign up today. Just go to MrCarWash.com or stop by your local Mr. Car Wash location here in Michigan for the one close to you. And to get that unlimited pass, go to MrCarWash.com. Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archived boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at freddythepizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email freddythepizzaman@gmail.com.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Wednesday morning to you. It's Hump Day. It's also the first of the month, the first day of February 2023. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Galen, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you to join the program at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Myers Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. On Twitter, XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN. Now streaming live on the YouTube. Just visit Michigan Sports Network on YouTube to stream the show, or add a .com to that to find our website. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. 7 degrees here in Southeast Michigan and Northwest Ohio. 15 degrees in Traverse City. How that makes sense, I have no idea. Tom on Twitter says, always considered 4 Big Ten titles in a row during the same period of the MSU National Championship in 2000. A bigger accomplishment as it is harder to accomplish. I would agree with Tom there. Now, the fact that that's the only national championship that the Big Ten can hang its hat on in the last 25 years, it's a little concerning, Tom. It's a little concerning. But I understand, yes, it is, and I'm the same way. I firmly believe that winning your conference regular season is a better accomplishment than winning in the NCAA tournament. I think it's a better accomplishment than winning your conference tournament. Let's get to USDA Scott on the NCAA tournament. Very passionate, it says. Hello. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Hello.
Give me a second here.
Oh boy.
First
wow,
of all,
you making a left
there
turn?
are certain coaches, and I mean, I've been around this for a long, long time. There are certain coaches. If you remember Olson at Arizona,
Lute Olson,
great coach. More Final Fours than he won the Pac-12. Izzo. More Final Fours and more Big Ten tournament titles than conference championships. There are so many coaches like that. There are very few coaches like John Wooden or Dean Smith or Coach K that get the top 5 talent every single year. Their ninth man could start on most teams, and they win all their games. They win 28, 30 games a year. These other coaches, they are working for a tournament title. They want to win every game that they play. Every coach wants to win every game that they play. I was at a game several years ago where coach got so upset at Zach Randolph and Jason Richardson that he sat both of them in the second half. These are all Americans. And he sat them for the whole half. And we lost to, I think it was Northwestern. And it is just a difference of preparation. And I think you have to separate the two. You separate the two because, how many American League East titles do the Yankees have compared to World Series titles? Or I think you have to separate the two because do coaches get fired if let's just say the Minnesota coach or Green Bay coach or somebody like that wins the that wins the NFC North, almost every year. But they've got one Super Bowl. Those guys get fired. Dallas. Look at Dallas's record in the past how many years.
Yeah, but professional sports are gauged almost entirely on what you do in the postseason and making it to the postseason and where your postseason success is at. That's how professional sports are gauged. But college sports are just different. There's like a different standard in college sports because you don't hang.
College sports are viewed differently.
Yes.
Because of the conference. It depends on the conference you play in. I mean, like even Duke did not win the ACC as many times as they were in the Final Four. It is tough to win those big conferences. It is extremely tough unless you're like football, Alabama, Ohio State. Now, I'm in Michigan. Who else? Georgia. Those teams, they have so much talent that they're going to be 11-0, 10-1 all the time. So the other teams that they're just trying to get ready. Jimmy Boeheim's a perfect example at Syracuse. He knows for a fact that in a 2-day span, trying to prepare for that 2-3 zone that you never see, it's a nightmare. Mm-hmm. He prepares his team for the tournament. So it's just all what emphasis you put on it. So I agree and disagree with John Wagner. It's nice to hang the banner. But, I think we won the Big Ten title. When Denzel was just a few years ago, and we got bounced in the first round. And nobody talks about us winning the Big Ten title. They talk about us getting bounced in the first round.
Yeah, I think that's because of the level of disappointment. I think that's what it is.
I can make excuses for anything, but I'm just saying that everybody remembers. There are
Middle Tennessee State.
250 million plus people will watch through those 3 weekends. 250 million.
Were you talking about Middle Tennessee State?
Huh?
Were you talking about Middle Tennessee State? Is that who you were talking about?
Yeah, we lost to them a few years ago. But I mean, when it creates that much excitement, you can't say that anybody.
Well, it creates excitement for the casuals, Scott. It's not. It's creating the excitement for the casuals, people that don't watch throughout the course of the regular season. All they do is tune into March Madness. That's all they care about.
You ask a season ticket holder at Michigan if they'd rather win the Big Ten championship or rather win the national title. I guarantee you what they say.
Well, a national title is different. That was never part of the criteria. It was.
That is a national title when you win the tournament. When you win the basketball NCAA.
Yeah,
tournament.
it was winning. It was winning your conference versus getting to the Sweet 16 was the original debate because everyone's going to take a national. No one's going to turn down a national championship. Like no one's gonna turn that down because you're going to hang a banner for that too. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm trying to say is these.
So a national championship is more important than a conference championship. Yeah, I mean.
I know, but I'm saying these coaches on these major teams. That is their goal is to win the national championship. They'd like to win a Big Ten or a ACC on the way in, but their major goal is to win the national championship.
A lot of disappointment. It's going to be 300.
There's a huge disappointment.
336 coaches that are going to be disappointed at the end of the year.
Izzo's in the Hall of Fame because he's been to the Final Four 8 times. He's not in the Hall of Fame because he's won 7 Big Ten championships.
That's interesting. You win your conference 7 times. You don't think you get a Hall of Fame bid? I mean, everybody gets into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean, you got to coach for 27 years to win that many times. But yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's tough to do. That much is for sure. Thanks for the call, Scott. We appreciate you this morning. We're going to step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids. They now have merged with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of the state, and they're stronger than ever before in the state of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast when it comes to your accounting and business needs. Find out more at beancarter.com. That's BEENEGARTR.com. Also, Thomas stepped up with $1,500 in cash in the Beat Huge Pro Football Picks contest. Now, if you beat my picks just 1 week, you'll be in the drawing at the end of the pro football season for $1,500 in cash from Tom Rosenbach and Bean Carter. Thursday night game is always a freebie. You have until Sunday morning to play every week through the big game. You can play once or play every week. Do what you want to, but get your picks in now at thehugeshow.net.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle and finding piggy riches for up to $10,000. Every Friday in January, one lucky winner every hour from 7 to 11 p.m. will break the piggy and reveal their prize from $500 premium play all the way up to $10,000 in cash. Don't miss Piggy Riches, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Getting ready for the Senior Bowl. Russell Brown will join us live from Mobile, Alabama. That's exciting. You know, I'd mentioned Desjuan Johnson from Toledo, one of the defensive linemen. He's at the Shrine, East-West Shrine game is where he is at. And we obviously will talk about the Senior Bowl. But when Bill had called in on Monday, it's just different because we have no rooting interest in the Senior Bowl, right? I mean, our rooting interest is for our team, but here's a bunch of guys that we don't know where they're going to end up, so therefore
the national team. That's where all the guys are.
All right, all the
3
dudes.
Michigan players, 2 Michigan State players, Central Michigan, all on the national team.
National team it is. Ryan just gave me the team I have to be a fan of, so I'm good with that. All right, it's hour 2 at segment 2, which means it's time for a little Detroit Lions trivia. Who doesn't love trivia? This is a very tough, very difficult question here. Matthew Stafford, who quarterbacked the Detroit Lions from 2009 until 2020, threw for a club record how many yards? That is the question. But all I'm going to ask you for is like the marker that he passed. So threw for more than how many yards? And you could just go with an even number. Maybe you say he threw for more than 26,000, or maybe he threw for more than 28,000.
Well, I was going to say 26,000, so I'm not going to say that one.
26,000 yards in 11 seasons?
45.
Oh, my God. Bing bong. Dude is on fire.
He just put the phone down over there. I don't know.
I was doing quick calculator math of like, okay, I just guessed an arbitrary number of yards per season, times it by a number. It's like, all right, here's a ballpark to start. Let's adjust.
Yeah, they wanted the exact digit. There's no way you're going to get 45,109. Within 109 yards is pretty good.
That's cruel that they would ask that.
That's pretty good. That's why I was like, just find the range. You give me over this marker, and I give you credit for the dub there. Ryan, 3 for 3 this week. You better go buy a scratch off on your way home. Wouldn't that be something? You stopped at the gas station and won a couple $100,000 off a scratch off ticket.
I need it.
Who doesn't need a couple $100,000 off a scratch off? I think we'd all be in favor of a quick couple $100,000. Was the phone line ringing over there, Daniel?
Yes, CK in Maumee is on hold.
CK in Maumee, what's going on, my friend? How are you this morning, partner?
Hey, I'm fine, Aiden. What's up?
Living the dream.
I had a high school coach, and every year when we played, the first goal we had was win the league championship. Because that was attainable. Okay, your odds of winning a state championship or in what we're talking about, a national championship, there's so many variables involved, but you can legitimately win your league. That should be your first priority every year because it is attainable. And I agree with some of the people that said, well, if you got a loaded roster, maybe your goal could be down the road, maybe win the national championship. But start now. University of Toledo had Bobby Nichols there for years. One of the best coaches in the history of NCAA. He never won a national championship. I think they got to the Sweet 16 once. They got beat by Notre Dame. But their goal, and if you go into Savage Hall, which I know you do, and you look up there at the rafters and you look at all the league championships they have, they're just as proud of those league championship banners as anything else.
CK, let's talk about that real quick. I have an idea. You have one banner, and it says MAC regular season championships at the top. And then under that, you put all the years that you won the MAC regular season on one banner. And then you have MAC tournament championships. If you want to, you can have a separate banner for that. And then you get rid of all that other nonsense. Like, if you want to have a banner for NIT appearances, okay. But then that's one banner with all the years you made the NIT. Like, we don't need a specific banner to commemorate every single little thing. Like, NIT first round. Like, you made it to the first round of the NIT. Like, and you got knocked out. Like, I don't know. That there doesn't need to be a banner hanging for that. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to do individual banners, like Michigan does individual banners for league championships. So, Big Ten conference champions, 1924, 1938, 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like, individual banners for that. Okay.
Might be some long banners.
Well, you know, like, you could do an individual banner for each year if you wanted to, I guess. Yeah. But we have way, way, way too many banners. Like, we don't need to commemorate college basketball insider.net tournament appearance. Like, get that out of here. Divisional air quotes titles, throw that out. Like, you don't need that either. Like, that looks ridiculous. Either win the conference tournament, hang a banner for that individual year, and be done with it. But they got to clean that up a little bit.
Oh, I agree. At my high school, they have, it says football, league champions, and then they list the years. Mm-hmm. Basketball, league champions, and list the years. I agree with that, but my original pretext was, I think it's just something that you can legitimately win the league.
Yes.
Your odds of legitimately winning, like you said, all the other coaches are going to be disappointed. There's only going to be one coach that doesn't lose the last game. The odds of you winning that national championship are pretty slim. So when you go out there and you accomplish, you played everybody twice in your league in some cases, and you win, and say you lose one game all year. To me, you've beaten everybody in your conference all but one or two times. That shows you are the best team in that league that year. Whether they beat you in the NCAAs, like, say, Michigan beat Ohio State a couple times in the NCAA when they had Chris Webber and Ohio State had Jimmy Jackson. Okay, that's great. But did they win the league? No.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that every coach in America would tell you primary goal number one is win your conference. Like that's primary goal number one. It's not we got to win a national championship. Like because I think that every coach knows that there's a lot of factors that go into that. One of which could be just simply surviving injury, right? To have your best team. You know, I ran into Jimmy Jackson. CK, you're in Mom East. You understand this. I was playing golf. Buddy. I was playing golf at Tamarron. That's how many years ago this was. I was playing golf at Tamarron.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they were still open. I see in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I'm riding with my buddy. I said, "Holy moly!" He goes, "What's that?" I said, "That's Jim Jackson." He looks at me. He goes, "Who the hell is Jim Jackson?" I'm like,
"Oh, geez."
I stopped the car in the parking lot. I said, "You can get out right here. I'm gonna go say hi to him. I'm not gonna. I can't. He's like, no. I want to go meet him. I want to go." I said, "I'm not driving my cart up there and going, hey, it's my buddy who just asked me 13 feet ago who the hell you were, Jimmy Jackson. Good to see you. Welcome home." It's great stuff. CK, I'm on me. Appreciate the call this morning, partner.
Okay, partner. Take care.
Very level-headed there. Very level-headed because that's what it is. That's primary concern. Number one, if you ask the Lions what the goal is this year, I think the Lions would say win the division. Because if you win the division, you guarantee your berth to the playoff. I think if you ask the Tigers, this year's a bad year for it, but if you ask the Tigers on a regular year in which they have some grade A talent on the team, you turn the clock back a decade. What do you think the goal was? You win the Central. They printed out shirts that said, "We own the Central." You know what I mean? Like that's important to these clubs. You win your division, you got to take care of business here and now, something that is an attainable goal. You know, if you're a Mid-American Conference team, winning your regular season is better than winning the conference tournament. However, when you win the conference tournament, that gives you the automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. So you could win your regular season and feel very good about that. But at the end of the day, still feel like, well, what do we have to show for it? Well, you have that banner that hangs in your arena. But the fact that they put it on who's better for 4 days versus who's better for 4 months in the conference championship will always bother me. We'll step aside. We're back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
We played for the thrill, that rush you feel with the game on the line. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver. Now, with Eagle Casino and Sports, the new sportsbook app from Soaring Eagle, anywhere I'm at, I'm still in the game.
Sign up now and get up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 for a risk-free bet on your next favorite underdog, parlay, or prop.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids. They now have merged with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of the state, and they're stronger than ever before in the state of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast when it comes to your accounting and business needs. Find out more at beancarter.com. That's BEENEGARTR.com. Also, Thomas stepped up with $1,500 in cash in the Beat Huge Pro Football Picks contest. Now, if you beat my picks just 1 week, you'll be in the drawing at the end of the pro football season for $1,500 in cash from Tom Rosenbach and Bean Carter. Thursday night game is always a freebie. You have until Sunday morning to play every week through the big game. You can play once or play every week. Do what you want to, but get your picks in now at thehugeshow.net.
to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us. Text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. You can now find us on YouTube, streaming at Michigan Sports Network on the homepage there. You can leave comments. Ryan is tracking all of these things. Dan is answering the phones. Rodney and Kazoo wants to talk about hanging banners. Rodney, good morning to you, my friend. Happy Wednesday.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, partner. How are you?
I'm good. So, I'm of an age when I remember the Fab Five. And I remember all you heard about was the fact that they had all the successes they had. They were number one seed in the NCAA tournament. They made it to the final twice, the NCAA final twice, but they never won a banner. So that was a big, big, big discussion back in the day, was the fact that they had all that success and they didn't have a banner to show for it. So, just the whole discussion that's going on with, does it matter or not? I think it does matter, and I think ultimately it matters to the players. Just when they come back, when they see that banner in the arena, and know that they had a part in that. And I always think of the Fab Five when this discussion comes up.
Do you think of the Fab Five because, if you go back to 93, 94, it was Purdue that won the conference. Right, Purdue had the best record. If you go back to 92, 93, it was Indiana that won the conference. If you go back to 91, 92, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're searching for, I don't know. I don't think it's national championship or bust. I think that is something that's conflated in the beginning of the year based upon that was kind of the. I don't know, like look at Calipari in Kentucky. Like how many national championships does Calipari have? Does that make him a bad coach or a bad recruiter? Does that wipe away any of the success or any of the conference titles that they have been able to win during his tenure? I don't think so. But when you reach like that certain level, okay, sure. But we all know what the NCAA tournament is. Like, it's a crapshoot.
It's a total crapshoot. And for the best team to go through and actually win all those games, because more likely than not, even if they are clearly better, they're going to have that one game where they struggle and they may squeak it out. They may or may not be able to squeak it out. But yeah, the NCAA tournament is a total crapshoot. I think it's great entertainment, but in terms of finding the best team, I actually don't like it.
Well, yeah, think about it like so Kentucky has 49 regular season championships in the SEC, and the last one coming in 2020. There was no tournament, obviously. COVID year, they won in 2017, 2015, 2012, 2010. You know what I'm saying? Like Kentucky is the class of that conference. Like, and every year, I don't know what Kentucky does. If they hang an individual banner for each conference year, or if they have one banner that says SEC championships and just the years on it, I'm not really sure. Sounds like 49 regular season titles, not even counting the tournament, would be like way too many banners and very cluttered. So maybe they do things a little bit different there. I'm trying to remember what Rupp Arena has. But at the end of the day, I think that Calipari's goal when he sets out is win the conference, right? I think that that's all teams' goals, because that's where you get that banner in your facility. If the NCAA tournament was, if it was national championship or bust, like why do we honor the Final Four in basketball but not in football? Like why is the NCAA tournament to make the Final Four in basketball, which is set up completely different than football, and football is way, way harder to make the Final Four to get into the college football playoff? How come we look at a Final Four in basketball like, oh my God, hang a banner for being one of the last four teams alive, but we don't do that for football? Like, why is it, you know what I mean? Like, why is it like, oh, how many Final Fours? Like, Tom Izzo, for example. Ryan will tell you, and he'll stick his chest out when he says it. How many Final Fours does Michigan State have under Tom Izzo? Do you know that off the top of your head? 8 Final Fours. Is that not something you take pride in? That's a benchmark. That is a, that's like, a checkpoint on your way to the top of Mount Everest. And we honor that. And if the NCAA tournament was really, hey, the best teams are going to win this thing, then it would always be 4 1 seeds at the end of the tourney. But we know that's just not the case. That's why the tournament in its own right is as special as it is because you get the Loyola Chicagos of the world that sneak up on people. You get the Cinderella stories like Ohio beating Virginia. You get these fun storylines that make it all interesting.
I've said it before, no one will ever take me seriously, but I think the basketball tournament should have 16 teams or 32 teams. Yeah, I think they should cut it back. But it is, it is great to see those upsets when they happen. I know it's not going to change, but I would like to see it cut back.
Yeah, I mean, where it's at, you can't expand it. You can't expand it anymore. 64 is too much. I know they want to get to where, 20% of college football, looking at some of the different pro models. Like, we don't water it down with more just crud. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what are they going to do? They're going to put more under 500 Big Ten teams into the tournament. They're going to, instead of having 9 or 10 Big Ten teams, now maybe they'll have 12. And it's like, does everybody in the Big Ten get in? They'll do the same thing with the ACC and the SEC because Virginia, Duke, Maryland, Michigan, USC, UCLA, Texas, Oklahoma, those brands bring in more money. It's never going to help the little guy. It's keep it where it's at. If they contracted it, I would be down with that. But I think that 64 is such a good number to begin with that I'm okay with that 64.
Well, it's at 68.
It's up to
64
it's
plus
up to 68 4. Now. Yeah.
64 plus 4. And I'm all right with that. Because at the end of the day, if you got into do you even count that as a tournament berth? If you're in the first 4, does that count as the NCAA tournament? I don't count it. You didn't make it to 64.
And one of those teams gets a win. It counts as a tournament win as far as I know.
More than likely does. They all keep their own records anyways. Rodney and Kazoo, man, appreciate the call this morning.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
See you, partner. I got to bring this up because I saw this yesterday. I can't, especially on the heels of the conversation we just had Monday. I see this shenanigans come across the wire. I'm looking online. I'm getting mad online. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting mad online. You want to know why I'm getting mad online?
I know. I was glad this was on the rundown because I saw it this morning before I left for work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you were like, he's on to something here. We just talked about this. That's why I don't know who in the league office is listening to us. Somebody is. We're trying to get some things done here, folks. The National Football League announced yesterday that we're going to have some Pro Bowl additions here. Now, Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Frank Ragnow, they all make the Pro Bowl. That's really cool. Good for us. The Baltimore Ravens announced that they are sending a quarterback to the Pro Bowl. And it's not Lamar Jackson. Because Josh Allen has an elbow injury and is going to play at Pebble Beach instead of the Pro Bowl. He's going to go play in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am over his league's all-star game because he's got an elbow injury, which isn't even an all-star. I don't even know what the Pro Bowl games are because it's not a football game anymore. So, therefore, I don't give a rat's behind about the Pro Bowl. Tyler Huntley was added as the replacement for Josh Allen. Huntley threw 2 touchdown passes. It's the fewest number of touchdown passes for any quarterback who was then selected to a Pro Bowl that same season. That is
Snoop! Put some respect on that name.
Horrific. That's terrible. The initial Pro Bowl rosters were announced in December. Mahomes was named the starter. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow were selected as the backups. The alternates, Tua, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson. Mahomes can't go because the Chiefs are playing in the Super Bowl. 4 other quarterbacks are unable to play because of injury. Allen's got an elbow, but he can go play golf. Okay. Tua's got
that's true.
What?
I do have severe golfer's elbow, but I can still play golf.
Hit a fat one time and see what happens.
Oh, I know. I can't lift. It sucks. Trust me, not fun.
Hit a fat shot one time and see what happens.
Yeah,
Tua's got a concussion that's keeping him out of the Pro Bowl games. Come on. Justin Herbert's got a shoulder. Lamar Jackson's got a knee. You got to be kidding me. Now, the Pro Bowl game is going to be held in Las Vegas this week. There's a flag football game at Allegiant Stadium on Sunday. Flag football isn't real football. It's not. So get this. I'm not watching. You're not getting my viewership. I'm going to burn my jerseys. I'm planting my flag. Here's my line in the sand. I ain't watching it. So quit asking.
You going to buy the Tyler Huntley Pro Bowl jersey?
Dude, what a crock. Why even have it?
Yeah. By the way, his stats, 6 games played, 75 for 112 passing on the year, 658 yards passing, 2 TDs, 3 interceptions.
Where's Trevor Lawrence?
41.2 QBR. He was added to the roster already.
How many people do we need?
Did all the AFC quarterbacks make the Pro Bowl this year?
Like, for real. I mean, you got 17
Russell Wilson
guys.
is out. He's the only guy that didn't
Russell
get voted
Wilson
in.
and then the Jets savior, Zach Wilson. What a waste of a pick
Brissett,
that was.
why couldn't you add him?
Deshaun Watson. Who else played quarterback for Cleveland? Nobody from Pittsburgh made it. What a shame. Malik Willis, he was the second coming to Christ. He didn't even get to start on his team. They skipped over him. Indianapolis doesn't have a quarterback.
Davis Mills.
Like, what a joke. This is what they should do. Let's fix this once and for all. We don't care about the Pro Bowl game. I think I say we, and I speak for all of us. Maybe one of you two like the Pro Bowl game. You could tell me this now. Maybe they'll do the Pro Bowl game on Nickelodeon, and they could shoot slime all over the place. I don't know. It's not NFL football. It's not of concern to me. What they need to do is you have your all-pro team, right? That is your best of your best. Your top 11, we're going to stick on one side of the football. Your top 11, one man per position, that's it. You have your all-pro team, which is the best in the league regardless of conference. And then what they should do is all conference players, just like you would in high school, all conference players, first team, second team, and third team. The reason I'm going to do 3 teams is because your all-pro guys are going to eat up a spot on that all-conference team. That's how I would base my incentives across the league. That's what I would do. And I would put more emphasis on first team all-conference or Pro Bowl. Those would be my benchmark, or all-pro. Those would be my benchmarks instead of Pro Bowl. Because how we knew of a Pro Bowler before has drastically changed over the last 5 years. It's a clown school exhibition game that the players are electing to go play golf instead of be a part of. If that doesn't tell you, and we've all, and the big running joke was, we've all called in sick to go play golf. I have never done that. Not once in my life have I ever called in sick to go play golf. That has never happened to me. But I don't have a desk job. So although I do have a desk in front of me, I don't have an office job. Although I'm in my office. You know what I'm saying. It's never happened. But we've all called it. Josh Allen called it sick to go play golf. That's relatable. We've all done that. If that doesn't tell the NFL everything they need to know about this game, it's not worth happening. The NHL is going to have their All-Star game Saturday at 3 o'clock on ABC and ESPN. I'm going to watch the All-Star festivities. I want to see the hardest shot. I want to see the skating and the skills competition. I want to watch all of it. I want to watch the NBA's new dunk contest format because the big stars like LeBron James ruined the dunk contest because they were afraid to participate in it. So bring in people off the street and let them get a little love and boost their TikTok followers and their Twitterers and their Instagrammies. Give them all the social media love you can because this person can fly. There is a high school kid that I recently saw on the internet who can fly, jumping over 7-footers. He plays for the overtime elite team in the G League. He's a high school age child who can literally defy gravity. I don't know what he ate as a little kid, but whatever that recipe is, as someone who struggles, who is vertically challenged, I would love to have a piece of that just for a
Vertically
day.
challenged?
Yeah, I can't get off the ground. I can't jump.
I mean, I think that's just because you skipped leg day.
No, like and here's the thing.
Anthony, you can
you
can train yourself to. My buddy literally trained himself to jump. He would stand under the rim for hours and just jump. I'm not joking.
I didn't put the time in.
Like, my buddy is 6'1" and can dunk because he just would stand there and just jump.
At one point in my life, I could dunk a men's basketball, but I had to throw it up and catch it off the bounce to dunk it. I couldn't palm it. Women's basketball, yeah, at one time in my life I could do that. But this young fella, and this guy's, he can't be, there's no way he's taller than me. They brought out 7-footers, and he was just jumping over everybody. I don't know what his name is. I'll try to find it. I'll look it back up and see if I can't find it. But, like, there is no, like, I'm going to watch the NHL All-Star Skills Competition. I'm going to watch the NBA Skills Competition. I'm going to watch the NBA All-Star Game. I don't care if it's a pickup game or not. I want to see guys shoot from midcourt, pull up, and do all that. Twig says, ha, 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 skipped leg day. Hey, Mr. Legs here. Take a look at these calves. They look great. It's for aesthetics, Twigs. On my all-conference teams, my all-pro team, you're going to have an offense and a defense. On your all-conference teams, it's going to be the same way. I'm only expanding it to third team because your all-pro guys are going to eat up a space. There's no way you could be an all-pro and not be all-conference. So your all-pro quarterback would be Patrick Mahomes. Your AFC all-conference quarterbacks would be guys like Joe Burrow. Maybe you throw in, Josh Allen's in there, Joe Burrow. Who's your third? Do you want to put in a guy like Justin Herbert?
Well, Justin Herbert was one of the alternates. But if you're not doing a real game, why do you need to select an alternate to go?
Thank you.
Just,
that's it. That's
just
all.
If you're doing 7-on-7 flag football,
it's a joke.
It's like, oh, the AFC doesn't have a quarterback. All right. Josh Jacobs, have fun running point during flag football.
Yeah,
that'd be more fun, and I think probably more people would be more inclined to watch if it was just like backyard football. If like, oh, we're gonna have our wide receivers, they're gonna play quarterback for the flag football game.
Your all-pro quarterback would be, like I said, Mahomes. So you'd have Herbert, Mahomes, and Burrow, or Burrow, Allen, Herbert, some sort of mix between the three. I don't care. And that should be the most – don't let fans vote. Fans are out of it. They're too emotional. They're like me right now, talking about the Pro Bowl. You can't do that. So if you're going to do a player vote, but even the players voted for Aaron Donald, and it was like that's a popularity vote for the All-Pro. So I really do believe it should be the writers, the media, like people that cover, and then you just do your award show and call it a day. But you got a guy skipping to go play golf. That is a travesty. We'll step aside. Hour 3's next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
It's time to go on the court with Tim Stout.
It's a new day to celebrate and be free. It's a new day full of action and excitement because it's a day for winning. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, it's a new day. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com. This will be a bit of a different week for Michigan State's men's basketball team in that the Spartans only play one game during the week, and that's Saturday at noon in Madison Square Garden, New York, against Rutgers. The game was moved from the Rutgers Center so that it could be played on a site that was in New York that could go to national television. The question for the Spartans, who've lost 4 of their last 6 games, can they make improvement from the way they've been playing recently, especially after a 16-point loss last weekend at Purdue? Coach Tom Izzo says one thing for sure, he wants to improve his team's rebounding, and that'll be a point of emphasis in practice all week long. Whether it helps the Spartans or not for Rutgers, stay tuned.
We might have just come out with our most refreshing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer yet. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so it's always going to have a real refreshing fruit taste. Can refreshing get any more refreshing? Yep, it can, and it just did. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, made with coconut water and real fruit juice for a superior taste. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
When you're in construction, you know that every minute matters and every dollar counts. You've got materials to purchase, employees to pay, and deadlines to meet. What you don't have is time to worry about your accounting, taxes, or ways to grow your business. That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is construction, our business is helping you run your business better. From tax planning, payroll processing, or R&D credit studies, we're here for you with concrete advice and answers. Let us help you build a solid foundation for your business. Whether you're a subcontractor, developer, architect, or engineer, of all the things you build, make your business the strongest. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole.
Here's the give. Walker! Kenny Walker! Touchdown! Smarty! Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes! Caught! Touchdown to Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here, X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Hump Day. First day of the month, February 1st, 2023. Great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000 Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well. BCSN and streaming live on the YouTube at Michigan Sports Network. That's also how you can find our website. Just add a .com to that. xbmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. What's going on in the world of sports? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
All right, we're going to start in the world of the NHL. The Islanders added some offense with Bo Horvat from the Canucks. This is interesting because, his contract was coming up. The Canucks weren't going to re-sign him, so he'll be an unrestricted free agent. Maybe a little bit of a rental here for the Islanders. And a conditional first-round pick in exchange with a couple of players. This is pretty – the Islanders are going for it at this point, you would assume. They closed the weekend 2 points behind in the Metro Division against the Pittsburgh Penguins for the final Eastern Conference wild card spot. However, the Pens have played 3 fewer games than the Islanders, with the Buffalo Sabres sandwiched in between the two, also playing the same number of games as the Penguins as well. So the Islanders got to make some hay here in the second half of the season. Spartans Kari Crump got probation for his tunnel assault in the Michigan tunnel. Such a widely debated, highly debated topic throughout the course of the football season. And the original charges brought against them were felonious assault once the video was released of Crump striking a player with his helmet. The plea agreement, the charge was reduced to a misdemeanor. He pleaded guilty, and he'll get a year of probation and a whole bunch of community service. So that's not too bad, right? That seems, for whatever reason, maybe you'll not swing your helmet at somebody next time. They talk a little smack because everybody was talking smack out there. It is what it is. The Broncos have reached a deal with the Saints in exchange for the coach Sean Payton. So the Broncos agreed Tuesday to trade with the New Orleans Saints to make Sean Payton their 19th head coach. The Saints will receive the Broncos' 2023 first-round pick, which is number 29 overall, and a 2024 second-round pick for the coach. How about this? Bill Parcells, if you want to go back, he was traded from the Patriots to the Jets for 4 draft picks. A third, a fourth, a second, and a first in consecutive years, beginning with 1997. Mike Holmgren was traded from the Packers to the Seahawks for the 1999 second-round pick, which is pretty interesting. Bill Belichick was traded from the Jets to the Patriots for 3 draft picks. John Gruden traded from the Raiders to the Buccaneers for 4 picks, including a 2002 first and a 2003 first, and $8 million in cash. Herm Edwards Rights to negotiate were traded to from the Jets to the Chiefs for a 4th-round pick, and now Sean Payton. It's pretty interesting how you have to exchange a pick. Broncos trying to figure it out. They have a quarterback in place in Russell Wilson. Something's got to give. There's no way Russell Wilson went from being a Super Bowl caliber quarterback to from let Russ cook to just losing all of his powers. That just didn't happen. The Monstars didn't come down to earth and take away Russell Wilson's ability to throw the football. And all of the chatter about, maybe he's not that invested in football. He's got his own teammates coming out and say that's just outside noise. We stand with him. We're behind him. Like I have to imagine, and Sean Payton did tell NOLA.com, this is the opportunity I was looking for. Goes to a team that's got some weapons. They have a quarterback in place. I would assume that the Broncos would have some sort of resurgence next year. The Houston Texans, easy for me to say, have hired the 49ers defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans. He returns the prodigal son who was a part of their big franchise turnaround back in 2006. He is back now to be the head coach. I think it's a good hire for the organization. He's going to be the 6th full-time head coach, franchise history. He'll become the first team in NFL history to have hired 3 consecutive black head coaches, if that matters to you. DeMeco Ryans here. And a longer-term deal. I believe the deal's 6 years. Where have we seen that before? You got to give these guys some time, folks. You're not going to be able to turn it around in a year or two. It's not going to happen. Sometimes it does. People are like, what about the Giants? Okay, it's 1 year. If the Giants fall apart and end up 6-11 next season, or if they end up, 7-10 and don't make the playoffs, then that is regression. They had a decent year this year. That's all fine and dandy. They have some players in place. That's good. Good for Brian Daboll. Sustained success is difficult in this league. The league is set up for everybody to be 500. Brock Purdy and Trey Lance are focused on recovery, not the 49ers quarterback situation. Should the Niners go after Tom Brady, yes or no? They got a Super Bowl caliber defense. They were just in the conference championship game. They got running backs.
You don't think they could find, somebody maybe 10 years younger?
It would be a 1 year. Oh, it would be kind of like a one and done. So you move on from Jimmy Garoppolo. You try to trade him away if there's any value for him whatsoever because the poor guy can't stay healthy. You keep the 3 quarterbacks, maybe either Purdy or Lance. I don't know how you move on from Brock Purdy after the year that he had. But if you could bring in Tom Brady, he's your 2, and then you just let set sail on Trey Lance and just
let Brock Purdy rehab all year, the UCL injury.
Yeah, just let him rehab. Keep Trey Lance as your backup in the event of an emergency situation. Go after Tom Brady for the 1 year rental. 3 Super Bowls with 3 different organizations.
Nobody knows what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson. So,
to Kyle Shanahan and the Niners though.
Why do you need Lamar when you have a Pro Bowler in Tyler Huntley?
Yeah,
waiting in the wings.
Oh,
that's right.
Sorry,
he's good. Hey, look at Tyler Huntley though. He's two touchdowns, and he gets to throw that at somebody when he gets his next contract. I'm a Pro Bowl quarterback. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're gonna laugh. I don't know. Allegedly, according to Coach Harbaugh, they want to make it work with Lamar Jackson. It's just the guaranteed money. That's what's going to be. The Tennessee Titans are switching to synthetic turf at Nissan Stadium, so that's good, redoing their turf. You know who else is redoing the turf? The Detroit Lions are redoing their turf. LeBron James' first triple-double of the season lifted the Lakers past the Knicks at Madison Square Garden in overtime, 129-123. Why is this important? He had 11 assists, bringing his career assist total to 10,338. That passes Mark Jackson and Steve Nash to move up to number 4 on the all-time list. So he's going for number 1 in points and is already number 4 in assists.
And he's 1 away from 4th in all-time triple-doubles, 1 away from Jason Kidd.
And I think he's also top 10 in all-time rebounds. And the Magic's Paolo Banchero headlines the squad for the Rising Star Games. Congratulations to both Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey from the Detroit Pistons, who also got the nod. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
When you're in construction, you know that every minute matters and every dollar counts. You've got materials to purchase, employees to pay, and deadlines to meet. What you don't have is time to worry about your accounting, taxes, or ways to grow your business. That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is construction, our business is helping you run your business better. From tax planning, payroll processing, or R&D credit studies, we're here for you with concrete advice and answers. Let us help you build a solid foundation for your business. Whether you're a subcontractor, developer, architect, or engineer, of all the things you build, make your business the strongest. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. I think you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much to every single one of you for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
That is the voice of Tom Brady. As just posted to his Twitter, he must have heard our conversation about him going to the Niners earlier. But Tom Brady is going to call it quits for real this time. Good song choice, Mr. Danny Cahalan.
Thanks.
And I like the fact that he said that you only get one super long retirement essay, and he already used that up. That's pretty good. And Tom Brady will retire, a 15-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, 3-time AP MVP, 7-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Pro Football Writers Association Most Valuable Player, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Fame All-2000s team, Hall of Fame All-2010s team, 2009 AP Comeback Player of the Year, 2-time AP Offensive Player of the Year, the 2007 Burt Bell Award winner, the 2-time Pro Football Writers Association Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, the accolades, but 7-time Super Bowl champion is the one that is most definitely going to go down as the one that's the number that is just simply unbeatable at this point. And, for a guy that finished up the 2022 regular season, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, his team was 8-9, completed 67% of his passes for 4,694 yards, completing his career total at 89,214 yards. Is that not incredible? I mean, my goodness. Pretty what an amazing career for Tom Brady, who is the all-time passing yards leader in NFL history. 89,214. My goodness.
Maybe he's going to now that
30,000 more yards than Aaron Rodgers.
Now that his playing career is over and he's single, he's going to beat Derek Jeter's roster. That's his next goal.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the video, and it's him outside. He's on the beach. He must have just been, he woke up this morning and realized, obviously he put some time into it. He probably didn't sleep at all last night. Poor guy. To be able to give some, I mean, what a tumultuous year it's been, too. A very public divorce with his wife and, all the things that go into that now with the kids. And that's that, man.
It wasn't really, was it? I mean, public in the aspect that, people knew about it, but it certainly wasn't out there like the Tiger Woods, a golf club through the window and, all that. Then people knew the exact amount of money that Tiger was paying over. Nobody know. I didn't hear anything about the nothing in regards to the money situation in the Brady divorce.
Well, I feel like it's different because I feel like they probably just both went into it like, we leave with the money we had because we both had our own money.
What's yours is yours and what's mine is mine. And it's because he didn't marry a nanny. He didn't get a jersey chaser that hopped on for alimony payments for the rest of her life.
Right.
Don't even get me going down this path.
But I'm saying,
salary cap league, salary cap alimony, salary cap marriages. $1,000 a week max. That's all you get.
But I mean, she probably went to all right, I have probably just a little bit more money than you, so let's just split the. If we have a joint account, split that, and leave.
Yeah, you want.
It's probably more a fight for assets than it is for the money.
And it doesn't even, I mean, at that point, like you have so much wealth. They both do. What do you want? Like, let's sit down like adults. Let's not act like we're, two broke hillbillies out here arguing it over every little thing because we're just spiteful, angry people. Like, there's nothing worse than that. Like, yeah, you gotta, I mean, child support and alimony should both be capped. 100%. Yeah, like, I was listening to something recently, and it was talking about why, I've never thought about it like this, but why there are less married men now. And the question is, well, what's in it for the men? Like, really, what's in it for the men? Because if you get divorced and you have kids, you're on the line for alimony and child support. Like, if she just decides one day, like, nope, I'm done. Like, what's in it for the guy? So why not just stay single? I was like, well, I've never thought about it like that, but I guess that's one way. If you married somebody and you didn't go through the process, you didn't, vet them, then. But I mean, they have children, right? That's probably the biggest concern. Where are they going to go to school? And what do you want to do? You're unhappy. I'm unhappy. Let's just go our separate ways. We'll figure it out. That's a clean way to do it. The fact that Tiger Woods' wife tried to kill him with a golf club and he never pressed charges that is just incredible to me. She ran down the driveway and tried to assault him with a deadly weapon. Come on. How do you not and then knock this house down? Unbelievable.
She didn't knock it down. She literally she gutted it. Everything and put it all out on the curb, and people were excited because they could get Tiger Woods' toilet.
Who paid for that toilet?
Anyway, Tom Brady retired.
Who paid for that toilet?
Listen, Tom Brady.
I hope this is. She knocked down the mansion. Look, it wasn't just a
this
yard
was
sale.
15 years ago.
She knocked down the mansion. She pummeled it to the floor.
I want to talk about Tom Brady.
Destroyed a $12 million oceanfront piece of property. Knocked it down. Didn't just have a yard sale. She knocked the house down, Dan.
Anyway, I hope this one is sincere. This one seems sincere. I don't remember a video last year. Was it just a letter thing?
Notes app.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Better than the Patrick Reed iMessage release yesterday. But I hope that this one seems sincere. I don't know about him sitting on like a beach in front of a hotel, but yeah, I hope this one is, just call it, needs to be over with. You're old.
He can still play though. That's the thing.
Can't move.
You don't need to move as a quarterback. You need to be able to read a defense, drop back 5 steps.
But you're also 45 years old.
And you can't.
Do you want to work that hard?
That's a personal. Yeah, that's up
that's
to him.
The thing. Like,
you want to do it?
Like last year was a struggle. It's like, yeah, he looks okay, but also like when you talk about these great athletes, is okay enough.
Yeah, it's a wrap, and it's sad that it's coming to a close, the end of an era, like a golden era of quarterbacks. He was the last man standing, and there was maybe some questions about what would happen next, and the next group of youngsters that's coming into the league has done very, very well for themselves. The Josh Allens and the Patrick Mahomes of the world, the Joe Burrows, we're in good shape when it comes to quarterbacks, but it is it's a historic day here for the NFL to lose the greatest of all time. All right, folks, NBA association action always heating up at DraftKings. You can put all the action right in your hands with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and win $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app right now. Sign up using the promo code HUGE. New customers bet $5 on the NBA, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings, only using the promo code HUGE. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. 21 plus bonus issued as free bets. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Russell Brown joins us next, live from the Senior Bowl in Mobile. That's next here, X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? you might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From planting a simple seed to managing a global food supply, growing, processing, and distributing food is the backbone of America. You deal with food safety and labor issues, cost control, and not to mention Mother Nature. But do you have time to explore research development and biotechnical tax credits? Properly administer payroll for temporary employees. Ensure that you're operating at your most profitable? That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is America's food supply, our business is helping you run your business better. We'll assist with tax credits, assess your processes and controls, and so much more. And while we may not be able to help you plant your crops, we can help you realize a rich financial harvest. From the family farm to worldwide distribution of all the things you grow, grow your business better. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Join us now, covering the NFL Draft. And National Scout for Cover One, our good friend Russell Brown. Find him on Twitter at Russ NFL Draft. Russell, my friend, down in Mobile for the Senior Bowl. How are you? How's life? How are things, partner?
Anthony, I'm good, man. I'm a little choked up right now. I just watched the Tom Brady retirement speech, and I saw the tears flowing from him, and I started getting choked up a little bit. But I'm good. How are you guys?
You know what? I kind of wanted to start there. No, it has nothing to do with the Senior Bowl because it's been like 800 years since he entered the league. But, just your initial reaction to Tom Brady hanging it up for real this time, he says. And I after watching the video and playing it here on the air in the last segment, it feels like this is like legitimately he's done now.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, obviously. I'll believe it when I see it. If we start the 2023 season and he's not suited up, it's a completely different thing. But we'll kind of see how it plays out. But, yeah, it's definitely really interesting. And I think when you look at the Bucs now, a team that might have needed some offensive line help or, potentially some interior defensive line help, this is a team that's probably going to shift their focus in the first round to the quarterback position.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting what they have going on there in Tampa Bay now, especially with all the dead money on the cap and how they're going to have to work around some of that. All right, let's do a little draft now. Let's do a little Senior Bowl out here. This is it's an annual affair down there, the Reese's Senior Bowl. The director, Jim Nagy, he is a Michigan native, so we always enjoy chatting with him as well. But this is a really good opportunity for guys to be able to get out there and get a little bit more on tape, but more importantly, maybe get in front of some NFL coaches and be able to showcase their talents a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is the biggest job interview for these guys, and it's not like, for us, Joe Schmoes, where we go to a job interview and it's like 30 minutes to an hour, and then we'll hear back from them or whatever. These guys are, they got to be on point for the entire time they're here. 16 hours within a day. I mean, it's really long days for them. Like today's media day. So they're down there and they're, we're asking them a bunch of questions and they're doing their thing. And then they've got to get ready and stretched out and eat right and go to practice later today. And then when they get done with practice, they got to go do more media stuff and they got to do some film and things like that. And it's just, it's never ending. So it's a great opportunity though for these guys. And the Senior Bowl has, brought so many players to the NFL these last couple of years. Jim Nagy's done a phenomenal job with some of these guys.
Oh, he really has, and I like the fact that the draft starts in Mobile and how they've built this up, the Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. As you have gotten an opportunity to take a look at some guys, and who's really who are a couple of names that are really standing out to you that maybe you didn't have necessarily high up on your radar early on, but now all of a sudden it's like, wow, okay, I got to keep track of this guy.
Yeah, well, we'll start with a guy that I've kind of stamped as my guy, and I've been bragging about it all week down here at the Senior Bowl, and that's Julius Brents from Kansas State. He's a cornerback, listed at 6'3", 203, really fluid, one of those guys that can, open his hips, flips and runs with the receiver, to his left, and then all of a sudden they'll run a dig route, and he's got to break back inside, and he can easily flip his hips to the right, and he's just in their hip pocket. He's got great length. He's physical through the catch point. He had a great first day yesterday, kind of lived up to the hype that I was giving him, which is always nice because I do that sometimes and it doesn't work out for me. So it's nice when it works out. But other than that, Cam Jones, Indiana linebacker, listed at 6'1", 226, did a really good job yesterday, I thought, just showing great energy, leadership on the field. Got to talk to him a little bit about scheme and alignment yesterday and how his whole film process is. And he's watching offensive linemen with their feet and their hands, and you love seeing that stuff. And he's not really, comfortable in one certain alignment, whether it's in a 0-0 or in a 50. He's all over the field, and that's good to see because that's the type of player that I think the NFL is going to get when they draft him. He's going to be able to move around, and like I mentioned, 6'1", 226. He really looks the part. Get him into an NFL weight room, and I think it's going to really change for him.
Russell, are we seeing maybe I mean, every position out there, the football field is of vital importance, right? You have to have all 11 guys on the same page, or the play's going to break down. Somebody's going to torch you for 6 points. But are we seeing maybe more of a premium sort of develop here at the cornerback or in the secondary because of the way that offenses have shifted to the pass game? Are you starting to see, do you feel like the level of talent has increased at that position?
It absolutely has. I mean, we're getting a lot of former receivers converting over to the position. We're getting former quarterbacks converting to the position, and sometimes they move even inside to like linebacker or box safety type role. So we're seeing guys move around a lot. You have to be versatile in this league. You have to be athletic. You have to be smart. You have to be versatile. And that's what I think, a lot of the guys that we're seeing down here, that's what they provide for a defense that's, trying to maybe revamp a little bit or get a little bit younger, get a little bit faster. And these guys can definitely do it. And it's important because you see so much nickel and dime stuff in the NFL where you see 3-4 corners on the field at one time. So it's absolutely important. And just to kind of break away from the Senior Bowl, talking about, guys that where they fit and just the overall position as a corner, Hodges Tomlinson out of TCU checked in at the Shrine Bowl at 5'7", but the dude can play. He shows effort on every play, so I'm not really worried about the size. He might be a nickel in the NFL, but I think he's going to be just fine. He's a prime example of what we're talking about.
Can I give you a guy that not in the secondary, but a guy that is kind of on my radar, one that I'm very excited to see how he turns out? And I don't know if you've had an opportunity because, I mean, think about all the players that you're trying to evaluate, trying to figure out. Your draft guide's coming out soon. Follow Russell on Twitter at Russ NFL Draft to find his draft guide as well, to learn about these guys. But there's a defensive lineman from Bowling Green by the name of Carl Brooks, who was an absolute man among boys. And it was incredible to watch what he was able to do at the Mid-American Conference level. I also think that from the Toledo Rockets, another guy named Desjuan Johnson is somebody, he's at the Shrine Bowl, somebody I'm going to be keeping my eyes on, obviously, just because having an opportunity to watch him grow from, a freshman to where he's at now. But Carl Brooks from Bowling Green, I got a feeling that give this guy an opportunity, and he's going to be a wrecking machine.
Bellino, absolutely, man. I love a little action as well. So he was on my flight actually down here, and I don't know how he got on the plane. He's so massive. He's so wide. He's 6'3", 303. I think he was listed at like 6'5", 275, but he's 6'3", 303. Definitely put on some muscle, but super fast hands, super fluid for a player of his size. He can hit swim moves, and he can get through blockers with ease. I mean, he can club them. He can double swipe them. And he looks like a versatile interior defensive lineman that's going to probably play, as a 2-eye, as a 3 technique, a 4-eye, a 5 technique. He's going to move around for a defense. And it's not, is he better in a 4-3 or a 3-4? Everybody runs odds and evens, so it doesn't really matter. He's going to fit in the NFL, and I'm really intrigued by him. And he had a really good first day yesterday as well.
To a couple of the Big Ten guys in our neighborhood that are on the perimeter, you have Ronnie Bell from Michigan, Jaden Reed from Michigan State at the wide receiver position. How do you see this this draft class kind of shaking out as a whole? And for those two guys in particular, where do you kind of see their, I would say, like a target range for them to be drafted as far as rounds are considered?
Yeah, so, I mean, I think there's some really good receivers in this draft. I mean, I don't know if there's a ton of first-round receivers. We'll see how that works out. But as we talk about our guys, Ronnie Bell, Jaden Reed, Ronnie Bell, I think as a day 3 pick is certainly a conversation to be had. And I certainly think Jaden Reed is good enough to go in the second day. And maybe I'm biased because I wore green and white. But at the same time, I just got done talking to him, and he's just wired, man. He's got this chip on his shoulder. He's got what it takes, I think, to translate to the NFL. He's going to play in the slot. More than likely, and that's where he said to me he feels like he's going to be the most comfortable because he's going to be able to work in space and create separation. So that's key. And beyond that, I mean, he's somebody that was catching punts and returning kicks, which we saw him do, and that's an immediate impact in the NFL when you have guys that can do that. And he can do that. So I'm super intrigued by Jaden Reed. I think he's going to be a 3rd, 4th-round pick because of everything that we're talking about. Ronnie Bell, I still got to see more from him. Not saying I'm hating on Michigan or anything like that. So before any callers or texts come through and say, oh, he just doesn't like Michigan, you're right. But at the same time, I watched him yesterday. He had a couple of drops. It just didn't work out for him. He's got some speed to his game, but he just doesn't look as fast as he once did.
Interesting. That is interesting. You got you do have a little green and white coming through there, Ronnie Bell, huh? A little hate there. No, I'm teasing. That's my guy. The coaching staff. The Senior Bowl and the Shrine Game are imperative for all NFL teams, right? Everybody's going to have their staffs there looking at every single player. I mean, now is the time. You want to be able to build through the draft. You have 7 rounds, and on average, every team's going to have a pick in every round. Obviously, that changes with trades, or if you're the Miami Dolphins, you will have a pick that will be revoked because of some league discipline there. But it's imperative for every single NFL franchise to be there. But there are a handful of coaches that get the opportunity to get their hands on these guys at an earlier stage by coaching in this Senior Bowl. What's the word from the coaches that you have heard as far as the opportunity not only to get back on the field and to work on their craft, but also to get kind of that sneak peek and that sort of like insider information of working with these guys one-on-one before the actual draft? It feels like a huge advantage if you have the opportunity to coach in these games.
Oh, absolutely. And the good coaches take advantage of this week down here, and really the week at the Shrine Bowl and wherever they can get their hands on these guys. The good coaches do. We can go back to the days of the Lions when Matt Patricia was down here, and he didn't seem like he liked a single one of his guys and didn't take one of his guys. But yesterday I'm standing on the field next to Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator of the Steelers, listening to him and his guys talking about, Derek Hall and the speed to power that he brings to the table and all those types of things. Then you're watching Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's basically in the offensive line and defensive line drills, and it's just like for me, it's a realization that it's cool to see a coach and all that stuff that's in the NFL, but they're just dudes like us, man. They're watching football, and they take advantage of this because it's crucial. I mean, you get to see how these guys are wired, how they take either plays off, or what are they doing between plays? Are they rallying the guys? Are they being coachable? Like Sidney Brown out of Illinois was super coachable yesterday, also super yoked up at 6 foot, 213. I mean, he is solid as a rock. He looked like he was chiseled out of rock. But that said, yeah, these guys take advantage of it. They love it. And if coaches and staffs aren't taking Senior Bowl players and Shrine Bowl players, I really have to wonder about their process, because you really do get that firsthand look.
In the recent Senior Bowl, coming off consecutive record-breaking drafts with 106 players selected in each of the past 2 years, which represented over 40% of the entire past 2 draft classes. So there is a ton of value. Is there concern amongst the players because, hey, look, we are going to play in a football game, which means there is going to be, we're going to be practicing. There are going to be maybe some opportunities for something unfortunate to happen as far as injury is concerned. And this is, this is for guys that are of age to be drafted, right? I mean, these are for the seniors, and it is kind of like that last ditch effort. If you're not a highly touted first round selection, maybe you don't play in these games, but for everybody else, this is a monumental process for them. Is there a fear or level of concern with the players?
Yeah, I mean, I think at times there are. You look at a guy like Kenny McIntosh yesterday. He had kind of an awkward landing. And he ended up being out for the rest of the day. I haven't heard like an update on if he'll be, doing anything today. And certainly these guys, they have to have that in the back of their minds of, potential injuries and things like that. But at the same time, like I said, it's a job interview for these guys, 16 hours a day while we're down here. And this gives them that opportunity. So whether they've been injured before or potentially get injured down here, it's just part of the process. And they understand that they could run a 40 time at the combine and come up with a bad hamstring or something like that, or a bad groin.
If I'm not mistaken, Alabama's the number 1 represented school, right? I mean, they got the most guys there, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. The roster sheet that I currently have, I don't have it by order of teams, but yeah, they have quite a few. TCU's also got quite a few. They got 3 or 4 guys. BYU's also got 3 or 4 guys. But yeah, Alabama's got the kind of the most representation. Some guys didn't participate though during the week, like Jordan Battle, the safety. He declined his invite. Even though I'm pretty sure I saw him walking around the stadium yesterday, but yeah, I don't think he was participating. But they've got quite a few guys from offensive linemen and some defensive backs as well.
There are a couple of names at the top of the draft Lions fans have some interest in, guys like Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. I am not in the take a quarterback early in this draft, whether at 6 or 18, because I feel like Jared Goff played well enough that we can kind of temper that expectation of quote-unquote quarterback of the future, and we could look forward to bolstering up the rest of the roster. But I wouldn't be opposed to them maybe taking a guy a little bit later on and, being able to redshirt that young fella, develop him, and then when it's time, pass the torch. Do you see a guy like Max Duggan or a guy like Hendon Hooker? Do you feel that guys like that might be good fits for the Detroit Lions a little bit later on in this draft?
Yeah, I certainly think Hendon Hooker could be, and he would be by far and away the best quarterback down here if he could participate. Now, he's in the middle of a lot of drills. He's taking a lot of mental reps, and he's even kind of coaching some guys up. So it's really great to see that type of stuff from him. And I know there was kind of a viral picture that happened yesterday. One of the Lions coaches was talking to him, but it wasn't a Lions offensive coach, at least not from the quarterback side of things. So I wouldn't buy too much into that. And again, all these teams, they do the research and talk to all these guys. So it doesn't matter what picture you really see, but it is interesting sometimes. But that said, yeah, I'm on board with Hendon Hooker. I would be okay with it. I still think he's probably a day 2 pick, and I would be okay willing to take that day 2 pick and turn it into a player like that, because you can have him sit, and he reminds me a lot of like a Jacoby Brissett, and he might be even a touch better than Jacoby. So we'll see how that translates. And yeah, absolutely with Max Duggan as well. I like that kid a lot. He's shown great character, and he's shown the ability to really carry himself well, and he's tough as nails, and he can make a lot of the throws. Yesterday, ball placement was sporadic, which we saw at times at TCU. But I'm definitely on board, with everything that you're preaching. I don't want a quarterback in the first round. I want Goff to be our guy for at least another year, and I don't want to force our hand on that.
Amen to that, Russ. I'm glad. See, great minds think alike, even though
exactly.
You're a Spartan dog. I didn't know that ahead of time. I feel like I've been bamboozled here. I've been hoodwinked, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived. He is Russell Brown. Find him on Twitter at Russ NFL Draft. Follow his work there. Russell, my friend, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and to talk a little bit about the Reese's Senior Bowl, which we're very much looking forward to watching this weekend.
Absolutely, guys. Anytime. I appreciate it.
There he goes, Russell Brown. Hey, fans, do not forget, we've been talking about it. The NBA action, it's all heating up, and it's all heating up over at DraftKings. And tonight, you get the Washington Wizards visiting the Detroit Pistons inside the Slice Little Caesars Arena. No Rui. He's in L.A. Can the Pistons bounce back? Can they figure out a way to win a basketball game? Maybe they can figure out a way to win a football game, but that's not going to work because they don't play any defense. But it's time to put all the hoops action in the palm of your hands with the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet $5 and bet $200 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app right now. Sign up using the promo code HUGE. New customers, bet $5 on the NBA, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Only using the promo code HUGE. Now, if you or somebody who has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. 21 plus. Bonus issued as free bets. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Are you surprised, gentlemen, that Russ is on board? Do not take a quarterback in the first round.
No, I'm happy. That's the way it should be.
I mean, he's obviously a smart man, an MSU guy, so.
Oh, that's why he's a smart man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I mean, that's you build the roster. You continue to build the roster. That's what you do. You do not just draft the best available quarterback. I don't care if it's Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud.
If Dan Campbell's interested in hiring old players as coaches, heard this guy, he played 23 years at quarterback. Could be looking for a new job. Welcome him to the coaching staff.
Or maybe to Michigan. Ultimately, the trajectory of the NFL is to get rid of the Pro Bowl and add an 18th game to the season, then expand to a 16-team playoff. That comes from the River City Kid. Can't necessarily disagree. That 18th game is coming. We can't. I don't know if I like an odd number of games for the schedule. Like, I think that finishing 500, there's something about it. Like, we got to figure that out, but we'll get to that. For Dana, Ryan, I'm Anthony. So long. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Right here next to Br0's, Michigan Sports Network.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at FreddyThePizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email freddythepizzaman@gmail.com.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids. They now have merged with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of the state, and they're stronger than ever before in the state of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast when it comes to your accounting and business needs. Find out more at beancarter.com. That's BEENEGARTR.com. Also, Tom has stepped up with $1,500 in cash in the Beat Huge Pro Football Picks contest. Now, if you beat my picks just 1 week, you'll be in the drawing at the end of the pro football season for $1,500 in cash from Tom Rosenbach and Bean Carter. Thursday night game is always a freebie. You have until Sunday morning to play every week through the big game. You can play once or play every week. Do what you want to, but get your picks in now at thehugeshow.net.
Hey, Michigan, let's go big. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver, and I'm talking real big-time winning on the hottest slots and table games on one incredible app, Eagle Casino and Sports.
Sign up now and get up to $1,500. That's right. We'll match your first 2 deposits for up to $1,500, plus 100 free spins.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
We might have just come out with our most refreshing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer yet. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so it's always going to have a real refreshing fruit taste. Can refreshing get any more refreshing? Yep, it can, and it just did. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, made with coconut water and real fruit juice for a superior taste. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get more for your money at Meijer. Everyone loves a soup and salad combo, so stock up to make your own at home. Right now, Earthbound Farm Organic Salads are buy one, get one for $1. Swanson's Broth is buy 5, save $5. And Frederick's by Meijer Shrimp is buy one, get one 50% off. Top it off with buy 5, save $5 on Kraft shredded or chunk cheese. Plus, pay the same low Meijer prices no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.